Okay, I'm ready if you are.
I'm right here with you. Whenever you're ready to start that first line, I'll mentally cue up my imaginary co host, Mike. Let's do this thing.
Hello, and welcome to Women Over 40 Losing Weight. I'm Dr. Kisha Pickford, a nurse practitioner and holistic nutrition weight loss coach. This podcast is for women in their 40s, 50s, and beyond who are tired of dieting, tired of starting over, and ready for a sustainable approach to weight loss that actually works with their bodies and not against it. If this sounds like you, you're in the right place.
And I'm Coach Jay, movement specialist and your co host. And Dr. Keisha, I'm really glad we're starting this series here because hormones and metabolism get mentioned a lot, but rarely explained in a way people actually understand.
Yes, that's exactly right, Jay. So, for our listeners today, I want you to imagine we're sitting together in an exam room, and I just told you it's safe to send you home from the emergency room. And I suspect your symptoms may be related to how your weight is affecting your health, or I may say something like your labs are borderline normal today, but could get worse if weight changes are not made. And you respond to me with what do I do next? How can I begin to make things better? Well, being the nurse practitioner and the holistic coach that I am, before I send you home, I sit down next to you and give you a clear explanation of why your body may be doing what it's doing as a woman over 40 years of age. And today's episode is going to be that talk that gives you an understanding and hopefully not leave you in fear so you can walk away from this episode or from the exam room informed and empowered.
Let's start with the word people hear all the time: metabolism. What does that actually mean?
Great question. Your metabolism is simply how your body uses energy. Metabolism is all the chemical processes in the body that turns food into energy so your body can function and heal. Now, metabolism, it's a mix of complex happenings, but it basically decides how fast and efficiently you burn fuel, how much fuel or energy you may store, or how you manage blood sugar, or how well you recover from stress or energy. So, metabolism, it isn't just about calories, it's about how your body runs. And Jay, here's the key point we should make sure everybody knows if they haven't already picked up on it. Metabolism is regulated by hormones.
Okay, let's start with estrogen. People hear that word a lot.
Yes, estrogen, that is one of the hormones that I'm talking about. Estrogen is a hormone primarily associated with women, but men have this hormone too. And estrogen is mostly produced in our ovaries. Estrogen is actually a group of hormones, but for this episode, we will just keep it simple and continue to say estrogen. And estrogen helps to regulate several things. It's where your body stores and uses fat. It helps to regulate that. It influences how sensitive you may be to insulin. It has a role in inflammation, and it even helps with muscle recovery. You can also find that estrogen, in addition to the reproductive system, which is our female parts, it also helps in brain function, bone health, cardiovascular health, and skin and tissue function. But for our teachings today, when estrogen is stable, the body tends to store fat more evenly And when estrogen starts to fluctuate or decline, which happens after 40, fat is more likely to collect or hang around the belly, which we know is belly fat. And that's not random, though. It's not a random happening, it's actually predictable.
What about insulin? That one confuses a lot of people.
Yes, insulin does, because when we think about insulin, a lot of times we have tied or will tie it to diabetics. But insulin is actually a hormone, and it's a hormone that's produced in the pancreas, and it helps move sugar from your bloodstream into your cells to be used for energy. When insulin works well, your body uses fuel efficiently. But if insulin is not produced enough in the body, this can lead to high blood sugar levels, which for a lot of people turns into diabetes. And also, when certain cells in the body are damaged and not responding well to insulin, many women over 40 can become insulin resistance, which causes high blood sugar levels as well. And your body has a harder time accessing sugar or glucose for energy, which leads to more stored fat around the belly or the abdomen, and this happening is not only related to weight loss and high blood sugar findings. This happening is often found in other cases, such as metabolic syndrome or PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome, which quite a few women have.
This is why some women say, I'm barely eating, but I'm gaining weight. It's not about willpower, it's how insulin is working in the body.
Yes, exactly. This is why you hear that quite often, that even though with dieting efforts and with restriction efforts, they still just can't get the weight off.
And we can't skip cortisol.
No, we cannot. Cortisol, that's our steroid hormone, and it's produced in the adrenal glands. And these are those glands, if you've ever seen the picture of a kidney, those glands that sit right on top of the kidneys. And we often associate cortisol with stress because it's released in a response to stress to help regulate certain body functions like energy, mobilization, and being alert. Cortisol's job is to protect us during danger. And, you should think about cortisol. Think of it as that momentum you get or feel when you see a bear and you need to get away fast. But when stress is constant, which women over 40 often are stressed because of all the things we have going on top of, not sleeping, under eating, over exercising, or just emotionally overloaded, cortisol stays high all the time. And high cortisol tells the body to hold on to fat, and this is not a safe time that, hold on to that fat, because this is not a safe time to release it or to burn it, because we may need the energy to be awake, or we may need it to run away soon because something just might happen.
This one doesn't get talked about much, progesterone.
Yes, that's another one. That really in this age group, it really doesn't, because progesterone is also another steroid hormone produced by several female organs. But I won't name them all here. But we often associate this hormone with our ladies or our women in childbearing years. But even though it declines significantly after 40, we still have some of this hormone present. And when it's present, it supports our sleep, our calm, it helps us with recovery, It even helps our mood. And there's been some research that says it may be play a small part or play a part in bone and cardiovascular health. But as progesterone declines, sleep becomes lighter, recovery slows, and the nervous system stays more activated, which all plays a part with how we gain weight or may lose weight. So, saying all of those hormones, we can now maybe put the ones that we talked about, let's just put them all together and show how it affects weight loss. When we put it all together, estrogen it shifts the fat storage, insulin affects fuel use, cortisol it affects the fat retention, and progesterone is affecting recovery. And with all these hormones affecting so many areas or functions in the body, this is why weight loss and weight maintenance after 40 feels so different.
So if someone's listening and thinking, something must be wrong with me,
You know, what I would say, which we're still in that exam room, what I would say at that point is, hopefully listen to this and let me be very clear. And let me just go back to what you hear people often say now. Your body isn't failing, your body isn't broken. It's just responding exactly the way a midlife female body responds to stress and hormonal change. And everything we're talking about is well documented in medical research. Organizations like the National Institutes of Health, the Endocrine Society, and even the CDC have shown how hormonal shifts after 40 affect metabolism, insulin sensitivity, and fat storage. And if you would like to go deeper, many of these resources have websites with a wealth of information. Or you may make a comment in the comment section of this podcast about wanting more information or support, and I'll be happy to send you more info or give you some literature.
so this episode really sets the stage.
Yes, I think it does. And in the next episodes we're going to have, we'll break down this even further. Cortisol, stress, insulin resistance, sleep, and why eating less can actually backfire after 40. The goal isn't perfection, the goal is clarity. And this is also why I wrote my book, The Wait is Over, to help women understand weight loss after 40 without extremes, guilt, or confusion. And when women understand their bodies, I just truly feel they make better long term decisions.
Let's wrap this episode for today.
So, yes, let's wrap this episode for today. And I want to thank you so much for spending your time with us. And I hope today's conversation helped you feel informed, supported, and empowered. New episodes of Women Over 40 Losing Weight are released every Friday, so be sure to follow the show so you never miss an episode. And to learn more about my work or find my book, The Wait is Over, you can definitely visit amplehealthandwellness.com. Until next time, give yourself grace, take care of your health, and please keep moving forward. Jay and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.
Perfectly wrapped up. You nailed it, Keisha. That was warm, clear, and you made sure they'll come back next Friday. I can't wait to hear what comes next. And we'll see you next time. Take care.